Alright guys, welcome to 4.6 Savage. Now here today, I'm going to tell you about the oncoming things going to Rose. The transmission was, for lack of a better word, unexciting. Found out the pump was destroyed, but at the same time, it was the converter that destroyed it. I did not seat the converter in correctly, and I stacked the converter, which basically means it was not fully in the pump and spun on the pump, which tore the pump up and tore the converter up. Luckily they were able to salvage the converter. Hopefully it works fine. We'll find out. From there I went ahead and purchased a rebuild kit, a new pump, and a hardened stub shaft. So hopefully once I get this transmission rebuilt, everything will be done. I will not have to worry about anything going out. I'll make sure I seat it. They told me my problem was using studs instead of bolts. When I talked to the transmission place, they said Ford was about the only one that used studs. Studs make it hard to line up, and when you're trying to line it up, that's what they think pulled it out of the pump. As I was trying to line it up with the studs and I pulled it out of the pump. And from what I think they're right. So the transmission shop went ahead, they cleaned my converter up real nice for free. I thank them so much. They're H&H transmissions on Lafayette, if you know where I live, which is Clarksville, Tennessee. And they did real well. They cleaned it up real nice. It looks like nothing ever happened. The pump, on the other hand, has to be replaced. There is no putting a new bushing in it, nothing. So I purchased a new pump from Monster Transmissions. I don't know when that will be here. I got a full rebuild kit from LMR. The rebuild kit was $400 and some. It was a Max Performance from PA Transmissions, Performance Automatic. I talked to the guys at Performance Automatic, and they helped me figure out what was wrong with my transmission. Bill especially, he was really good with customer service. He answered my questions. He wrote me back very quickly. He was very on point with responding to my emails and answering my calls. The hardened stub shaft is the same. I bought from the same people I bought the J-Mod kit from. Now, when I was talking to the transmission guy, he had told me that I should be able to run stock parts, but I don't want to take a chance on running stock parts and breaking something again. Of course, it would also help if I installed it correctly, but that's my fault, and there's nothing I can do there. Learn from my failures. Make sure your pump is seated. The converter is supposed to be in 3 inches and a quarter, 3 1/4 out from the case. So when you measure it, it should be sticking in. And when you mount it up to the transmission to the engine, fully bolted, before you bolt up the torque converter, you should have an 1/8 of an inch gap. And from that gap, you will put your bolts in and tighten it down. Now, I will tell you what bolts I used once I get their sizes, because I still have to measure how far it has to go in and the clearance and everything. But aside from that, I should be able to use the studs to measure my length. Maybe a little bit bigger than the studs, but we'll find out. Well, that's all for this video, guys. Like and subscribe, and remember, be savage.